What's up guys, MrBayeasy here, and today we're going to talk about something that I'm really passionate about, which is the forging palette and essentially the objects in Forge and the way that they are designed. Now I firmly believe that they should, I'm cool with designs, first of all guys. The thumbnail and the title might be a bit misleading because I do think that the design should be there. Like, it's cool to have them. I'm okay with if they're there, if they're not, I'm cool with it either way. However, I definitely don't think that the designs on the actual walls and floors and basically what you use to walk on and throw your nades on should have like physical effectiveness. So if there's like a crack in the wall or if there's a divot in the wall, that shouldn't be there. Like, that shouldn't be something that affects your movement or your nades or whatever it is. It's cool to have aesthetics like that, but when they affect the performance of the game, they become more than just aesthetics. They become like hindrances on your actual gameplay, and I'm very, very against that. It really messes up the fluidity of the game. You can literally lose games because of that. You know what I mean? It's something that can just happen in a game by chance, that maybe you throw a nade and instead of bouncing off a smooth surface that would normally be the floor, there's some sort of detailing on the floor, which of course for developer maps you really can't do much about. But we're talking about Forge here. If you bounce it off a wall or a floor, and that floor or wall happens to have a design on it, and that design affects the trajectory of the nade, first of all, it's not going to go where you want. I've had it in the past on Halo 4 where I was playing on a Forge map. Luckily I wasn't doing anything seriously competitive. It was just a fun little custom game. I threw a nade and the nade literally came back at me, and obviously I didn't intend for it to do that. I wanted it to bounce at like a 45-degree angle upwards and hit someone coming up a ramp, but the design on the ground affected the trajectory and actually stopped it because, of course, I'm moving towards that ramp so I can engage the person when they get up there. I threw it at a very specific time so that it would catch them as soon as they jumped up on that ramp. And, I'm moving forward. Of course, this thing bounces, pretty much goes straight up, and I run right into it. So it was very annoying. Of course, again, it wasn't anything serious, which is lucky, but the fact that it's in the game, the fact that that's possible is definitely a bad thing. I don't think anybody can disagree with me there. I mean, like I said, designs on a particular object or on objects in and of itself is awesome. It makes the maps look great, it makes them look really nice, and possibly even unique depending on how the map maker decided to make their map. But when it affects the actual performance of the game and how the game plays, that is a problem. It's a very big problem. So in my personal opinion, when I say they shouldn't have designs on them, I really mean they shouldn't have actually, like physical designs. Like, it should just be detailing, and it can have depth. It can have depth and everything to it as well, like the floor pieces on Halo 4, for example. But there should be like an invisible area. You see what I'm saying? An invisible area that is just flat. So no matter what designs are on that particular piece, they're not actually effective. You know what I mean? They don't actually play a role in your movement and stuff like that. We've seen in the past when people make uneven surfaces, just straight up uneven surfaces in Forge, your actual character movement, although it might be a minimal thing, it might be something minimal that happens on your screen, maybe a slight little bump, but actually in third person your character actually makes a small maneuver that changes their the way that they look and the height, and basically it makes a small little crouch, like a little baby crouch, right? And that can very massively affect whether or not someone can hit you or not. And although you might think that's a good thing at the time, it's definitely bad overall. You know what I mean? If someone's trying to snipe you, for example, and you run over that little piece and you do that little jump, they could very easily miss because they were, they pull the trigger right as you go over the jump and you do that little baby crouch. So again, those are things that can vastly affect the outcome of a game. I mean, we've seen in the past where single bullets, I've said this in a previous commentary, where single bullets can affect the outcome of a game. Sometimes momentums change, sometimes it's just a very close game where just one single play, one single round of maybe a sniper or whatever it may be, will affect the game. And if it doesn't happen then, the overall outcome of the game might actually end up being different later on, which is, in my opinion, just not fair. If somebody was legitimately about to win, they shouldn't have victory stolen from them because the map was designed, or because the foundations of the game were designed improperly. So let me know what you're thinking about this in the comments down below. It's something that I feel very passionately about, but I want to hear your honest to goodness opinions on this because, do you really care? Does it feel like that big of an issue? Which I will admit, guys, it's not the biggest issue in the world. It's not something that's, you know, oh my god, this needs to be fixed, this is the most important thing, but it's something that is in the game that occasionally affects the game, and that occasionally, and you know, quote unquote occasionally, is just too high of a percentage rate to actually happen for me that is comfortable. If it was just like, you know, a 1% chance, then it would be cool, but you know, people in Forge, they do a lot of crazy stuff, and because of that, you know, sometimes maps can just end up a little bit goofy when it comes to the objects, because of the way they place them and everything. So we'll see how it all turns out. Again, I personally feel that the design should in no way affect the game, and they should just be designs and aesthetics that help improve the look of the game. But again, tell me what you think in the comments down below. With that being said, rate the video what you think it deserved, and if you'd like to become a Sage in training, make sure you subscribe today. This has been MrBayeasy, your favorite Sage, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.